Hello, everyone. Look who I have back. I have the Dr. Lena Rodriguez.
Live coming to you from tomorrow.
That's still kind of weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah, because Wednesday here, Thursday for you. So your day
Yeah.
is more over than ours is.
Yeah, really.
I really like your statues in the back. Where are those coming from?
Thank you. Aren't they gorgeous?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
do you
of
collect
course,
statues?
Sorry?
Do you collect statues?
No, this is someone else in the house. But I also have an antique clock and it's always wrong. Well, right twice a day. So don't be put off if you see that time behind me.
Right. It's right twice a day.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Well, you look wonderful, beautiful, and it is winter time. No, summertime.
Except it's not. We had 2 days of 90 degrees. We thought summer's here.
Yeah.
And they know. I'm back in jumpers. Climate change.
I'm wearing flip-flops to the store. In
This is
Colorado.
crazy.
In December.
Yeah. I know.
It is crazy. It is really crazy. How did you like Biden and how he handled going to the victims of he called it the hurricane. I almost did too. The tornadoes and all of that.
Look. Full marks to him, and that is a job of an American president, is to go preferably without paper towels and just hug people and speak to people and bond with people, so
do you remember when Trump went down there? He was signing Bibles. Remember that?
It was true. And
oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember that. I could not believe he was there. People were handing him the Trump Bibles and he was signing Bibles at a tornado thing he went to down there. I forget which one it was, but
I think it was Puerto Rico. Or do you mean was it Florida or somewhere?
No, there was tornadoes. There was tornadoes somewhere in the Midwest. I think maybe Nebraska. I can't really exactly remember.
Okay.
He had also went there and he was walking through the rubble and people were walking up to him and handing him Bibles and he was signing Bibles. Now, Puerto Rico was when the hurricane went and he went down there and he was throwing,
Yeah.
How tactful. Ugh.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens with the Trump followers because they're doing all sorts of weird stuff now to combat COVID. We might get to that.
Well, yeah. Well, why don't we just go right into that and read on the quackadoodles?
The quackadoodles. Because did you see, 2 weeks ago they were spending $100 on a bag of soil. And now they're drinking industrial bleach.
Yes, they are. Let me see if I can bring up the whole thing where they had that. It says, oh no, that was when they got sick. Never mind. Yeah, they're going down. I think it's in Houston, the gathering. And once they all get there, they're going to drink bleach or a disinfectant of some sort to combat.
You mean they're actually going on a dedicated trip
to
do this thing?
Yes.
Oh my God. And for those of us who remember Jonestown when it happened, you're probably too young.
I remember the stories.
Yeah. But how drinking the Kool-Aid's now gone into the language everywhere. And here they are.
Here they are. Well, let's see if they're going to lose, what kind of chaos. Let's see what's the fallout of them doing that.
Yeah,
let's read about that.
What's going to happen with this response?
Can't be good. You know what I mean? They're just pretending.
Oh, and tell me they're not taking their kids. Oh no, honey, you just have a little diluted version with your orange juice.
Yes.
What?
No. What these people do to their children is unbelievable.
Houston and the disinfectant. Let's have a look here. Will I go, Sheila?
Yep, go for it.
These are not pretty cards, you know, and all jokes aside, this is actually a serious issue. When you have people voluntarily doing this to their bodies, at the center, the out in the cold, it's like they've chosen to be outside of mainstream advice and do this thing. The thing with this Five of Pentacles too, if you look at the stained glass window here, there is a light on, so they could seek shelter here, but they don't. They're walking past it. They're walking past safety, if you like, to do this thing. They're very young, like Australia, like America, is a young country. So you have a certain youthful mentality that can be great for energy and innovation, but it can also be, you know, simplistic and righteous and all those things. So they're not thinking as adults, is my point. Now, there's been a lot of conflict. This could be within families or within communities or within conflicting points of view, right? But they've chosen, again, this childlike option. It could also represent their kids, God forbid, but it's a childlike option, but it's not going to end well for them, you'd have to say. What have you got, Dom?
Well, I have these cards that are called situational. And it kind of tells me, I kind of went into why they're doing it. Why are they doing this?
Oh, that's,
and they have this thing where the receipts, proof, show me. So they have had somebody giving them the information, giving them the signs, giving them the like, I see a sign, it has to be true. You know, they're really going into that delusional kind of a thing. Now, usually signs from spirit usually means something, but for them, it is a spiritual path. They really, you know, we've always said that be careful of your spiritual, when you choose spirituality, because always base it in the truth, not in you know, delusional thinking. And this is their spiritual awakening. They really think that if they do get this, they do die, current situation is available, but the divine masculine, there is one man who is masterminding all of this. So that's what the situation in that. So then we have hangman and justice. It's like their decisions are going to their actions are going to justify the means. Does that make sense? Like their actions are going to definitely, and they're holding on. There's absolutely nothing. Even if they had a doctor there or somebody there to prove to them, watch what's happening to your body as they're drinking, they're going to hold on to they absolutely will not believe it. So they are literally the thing about the fallout of this, it is so cult-like that it's scary. I want to see what it's doing to the Republican Party. Are they really claiming them or not? You know, they don't never say anything bad about them ever.
Yes.
So
that denial of what's happening, it raises another question too, which is those who went to Mr. My Pillow rally. That could be the guy that you picked up on.
Yeah.
And that was a few weeks ago, and now they're getting sick, and they're claiming that they were bombarded with anthrax. They can't
fathom. They cannot come up with the right decisions or the right stuff. Well, my bales are not making the video crazy. You know
I
how
love
after
the
you read it back,
balls.
I'm
I
like, oh,
love
I
the
should have
balls.
taken off those bells.
Yeah. So we're looking at the GOP. So what's the question?
The question here is, I wonder if the Republicans are really supporting this. Like, is this a separation? Are they all by themselves and they just have joined the Republicans, or is the Republicans embracing them?
Okay, let's look at the relationship with this and the GOP. What's the relationship?
Or the Republicans just being nice. You know how you never piss off a crazy uncle, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
agree to, you know.
Yeah. Ah.
Let's see
what the relationship like. GOP and
I have a little.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very. Go for it.
Okay, bang in the middle, I've got the chariot, which I think in this context is saying, on one level, the GOP doesn't care what stripe, what behaviour, whatever. If you're going to turn up and vote for them, they'll just forge ahead and not look right or left, right? Just go for it. But the curious card is the hermit on top. And so I think this represents a small spectrum of the GOP strategists, even, dare I say it, Mitch McConnell and those who know this isn't a good thing. This is not going to work in the long term. Whereas you've got all those, mad players short term who, just think. So I think this is the concern of the Lindsey Grahams and the Mitch McConnells and so forth. The justice cards turning up here in relation to this, I think there could be court cases that emerge. It could be from the redistricting or something a bit separate, but in terms of the QAnons, looking for some sort of balance within the party, but they're not sure how it's going to go, and they're worried that they could be sued for some of this radical behaviour, the Marjorie Taylor Greens and stuff, for not pulling them in. There could be legal repercussions they're worried about. In fact, they're very worried about that, the legal consequences of some of this behaviour, and it is a burden for the party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely got the burden as well. I got two paths, the Republican Party and them, right? Two paths.
Yeah, right.
Two paths on that. And then I got the Five of Cups with the regret. Like,
now we're stuck with them.
Yeah. But then again, they get over that quick because they abundantly think, oh, they have votes.
Yeah.
They get through it real quickly.
Yeah.
And then we have the Ace of Cups. Then, they have to pander to them every so often. They throw them a bone every so often.
Yeah.
To keep them there to vote. However, we also have old friends, which is really an interesting thing, because I wondered where the QAnon and the Republicans hooked up. So they're old friends, like a couple of friends back in the day are the ones that have come up with QAnon, and not maybe too far back, but you know what I mean? And that's how the Republicans started this. And then a QAnon crazy followed this. And this is what they were old friends. So this is a reason why they buddied up the most.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. Judgment is coming.
Yeah.
Judgment is coming for them. And somebody's going to be held accountable for all the crazy, especially as some people get sick with what they're doing right now. Somebody's going to be held accountable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be just like, oh, it was your decision. No, we're going to find out who's leading this party here.
Oh, I just heard something. I heard 18-year-old. Why would I hear 18-year-old? I think, when you're a teenager and you're starting to think differently from your parents, but you're still stuck there. So I think it could be an 18-year-old who's taken to one of these rallies or something.
Oh, that's going to get sick.
When you were talking about the court case.
Oh, good.
So we've got to remember this, viewers, in 6 months' time or whatever. It could be a court case brought by a young person. That's very specific, 18, about this. I mean, virtually suing their parents and beyond. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, good. Well, I think, I think I think I know what you're talking about. Some teenagers going to be really upset because of his parents being in this Q thing. And he gets out of it a little bit, and now he's suing for damages of who he is, or maybe a death of his parents or something along that line.
Yes, or death of a sibling or something that prompts it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying now. Wow. All right, since we're still talking about the crazies. Attendees at a Trump allied conference, which is at the Mike Lindell conference, now feel sick, and they say someone attacked them with anthrax. However, several people who attended the Trump allied the Reawakening America conference earlier this month, which we all know anthrax is immediate, and now are claiming to feel sick. However, instead of contemplating that the idea that they all gave one another COVID, they're reportedly blaming unidentified external sources whom they claim attacked them with weapon grade anthrax spores.
Weapon grade. On no evidence. There's no evidence.
No, and I bet you if they went to go listen
to them when they find out it is COVID, gotcha. I think is more interesting.
Okay.
Will they accept that it is COVID at any point? Will they accept it? At a rally, Trump rally with Mr. My Pillow, who was a nobody prior to being elevated by the Yeti.
Yes. Hi, Sugar.
That is the cutest picture ever.
It was.
I won't ask what year it was taken. No.
Right during breast cancer. Oh, that's
you look like a Vogue model.
Oh, thank you. That was about what, 8 years ago?
Oh my God.
I lost all my hair. And that's when I was doing stand-up.
Right. And you continued working,
Well, now I stopped because it's stand-up, it's fun, but it's very ego-driven.
Yeah.
Yes,
and both ways, ego up and ego down.
I always like being out watching the comics, and all the other comics always stayed in the green room. They didn't want to hear other comics.
Yeah,
I'm whatever, Biash.
I went back and saw some of your videos from your stand-up days.
Oh, you did? Oh,
hilarious. Absolutely. I went around for the rest of the day chuckling. People were looking at me like, who's this crazy woman? I'm walking down the street going,
That's funny.
There's videos out there that I can watch of you stand-up comedy?
There were a couple.
I tried to hide them.
Oh, I'm going to go look now.
So, hey, listen, I'm taking my boys to see Matrix, and the show starts at 6:30. So I need at least, I can be on here for about 50 minutes. Is that okay?
Oh, of course.
Let's just dive into
we're already recording. Yeah. We can stop and then start the recording again if you want to do that.
No. Look, we'll just roll.
Okay, we can continue on.
Roll with it, baby.
I can always edit out.
And this will be a big edit because instead of going on with whatever, we were in the middle of a question, but who cares? We were going to be asked about Christmas stories.
Yes, this is true. I was going to open up and it's like, okay, what is your favorite Christmas memories or traditions that you have in your family? Linda.
Oh, me first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuna dip.
Tuna dip.
Oh, peaceful.
We make
Bless.
tuna dip every year, and I just made it for my cooking show. I just finished it. It should be up tomorrow. Not my famous. I think it's my grandmother's recipe,
Mhm.
but this one I made with 2 8-ounces of cream cheese. When I was a young girl, we had 1 8-ounce, 1 small can of oil tuna. Remember when oil used to be in tuna?
Yeah.
It gave it a good flavor. Anyway, but that was enough for all 5 of us. Dad would
Yeah.
scoop each person a little bit and give us some chips, and we'd watch, Carol Burnett Christmas special or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Dad used to make us hot toddies. We're just kids. He loved it.
Ah, yeah. He was Irish, wasn't he, or Irish heritage?
Yeah.
You're never too young for alcohol in the Irish tradition.
The Italians and the Germans.
Yeah.
Well, alcohol was what you want to drink because regular water was toxic.
Yes, exactly.
And it warmed you up in the winter.
And I come from Queensland, where they make rum in Australia, like sugarcane rum. So we all drank rum, teething babies, rum, other people used to use brandy and stuff, but we had rum for everything, absolutely everything. Anything that was wrong with you, rum.
Right.
How funny.
How
So
about
do you have, oh, I'm sorry.
Sheila, what's your favorite memory?
Well, it's going over.
I love the balls on your sweater.
Oh, you like
Okay,
a
great.
little poncho. Room to grow. Every time we put up a Christmas tree at my house, my mother would always, would always tell us her favorite. And this has become one of my favorite parts of Christmas was my mother, as we're putting up the tree, my mother would tell us a story about her and her home where they didn't have much money at all. And they lived in Texas, in Amarillo, Texas. And her mother, trying to make ends meet and things like that, she couldn't even afford to go get a Christmas tree or anything. Her father was a truck driver on the road. So my grandfather was on the road. So what she did was she cut out a Christmas tree from a cardboard box and gave the kids crayons. And they literally colored and decorated this great big old huge, box and this Christmas tree, and they put it up. My mother always told me, she goes, that has been my most favorite porous. They didn't get any presents either, but she goes, that has been my favoriteest Christmas ever. And so that's been my memory as well. We didn't do that. I mean, we could have, but we didn't. But yeah, so she would always tell us that. So we would always go, Mom, tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Oh, that's cute.
That's
So with my parents, because Dad grew up super poor, and so he always had a thing at Christmas. We'd have anybody who had nowhere else to go for Christmas would come to our place. And then we'd have this stupid hot meal when it was 100 degrees outside, in the Australian tradition of the time. And then we'd all be sent to the beach, and Christmas was great because one of the men would always produce a tractor tire from somewhere, be chucked in. So you'd have 20 kids hanging off the tractor tire. We thought it was fabulous.
That's great.
And because I was little and skinny, I always got stuck sitting on the valve, oh, don't go there.
Are you talking about the inner tube from a tractor trailer?
Yeah.
Because that's definitely a country thing. When I was living out in the country in Kansas, my children played on a great big huge inner tube tire. That's all they played on.
Yeah. That's all we had for 10 years. We thought it was great.
Yeah.
Right.
If you didn't get eaten by a shark, it was a good Christmas.
Well, did you play that where you sit somebody on one side and you jumped on the other? And
yeah, all of that. And pushed the 4-year-old underwater so they couldn't get out. Ha, hilarious.
Oh, goodness. So,
Yeah.
so Linda,
But guess what? Guess
What?
what? I've had Christmas. My sister and I had a pact this year. We said, let's do it a week early. And we did. And it's over. The
That's
bliss.
right. My favorite thing is when they're young, when children are young. My kids were so excited.
Yeah.
You know, you can get them crap. My grandmother was so poor, she'd go down to the dime store, you know, and give us that plastic stuff, but she had a box of them. She wrapped all of them. We just thought we were in hog heaven.
Oh, no.
In the meantime, my mom bought us sensible things like nightgowns.
Underwear.
I love the smell of new jammies on Christmas.
When my kids were little, I used to wrap their favorite toys for Christmas. I'd just get lots of cellophane. Look, 3-year-olds don't know. Oh,
Nope.
there's Teddy. I don't know why people spend money on the under fives. I don't understand.
I had
This
a
is true.
friend that always rewrapped until the kids caught on.
Yeah, that's right. You can only get away with it till about 4 or 5. Yeah.
Well, you know, I had back in the day when I was a single parent and made 2 cents, and I had to go to my own family thing, and all the adults always bought something for the kids. And so I would go to the dollar store and I would get each one of them an ornament that cost $1, right? And I did this for years. And one day, you know, I was married and I had money, and I thought, I'm going to get them good presents this year. And I got everybody something cool. And then they all showed up, and every one of them opened up and said, where's my ornament?
Oh, bless.
I was like, oh, Sheila.
When I was working at Control Data Institute, back when I was a secretary, a friend of mine invited me out to his house for a big Christmas party, and everybody was supposed to bring an ornament. Of course, I hadn't done anything. I rushed home to my house, shower, get ready, and I thought, ornament, what do I do? I took an open tampon, put glue on it, and put glitter on it, and brought it as an ornament, and they loved it. They had kept it for years.
Oh,
Genius.
Isn't that creative?
Genius.
that's bravery.
It wasn't a used tampon, it was a new tampon.
Oh, I'm pleased to hear that, Linda.
Good to know. Oh, how funny. All right. So we were kind of in the middle.
Okay.
Of talking about the attendees at Trump at the Michael and Dale thing, saying that they got attacked by anthrax, even though the people are thinking that they probably have COVID instead of anthrax. And we were just going to read and see
Who complained?
Okay, what happened was a lot of people went to this rally about 2 weeks ago, and now a lot of them are sick. But instead of going, oh, we blew it, no. They are claiming weapon grade anthrax, which, weapon grade lunacy.
Yeah.
And anthrax hits like that. It doesn't wait 2 weeks. Everything about it.
Oh, yeah. And did a doctor say that out loud, that they got anthrax?
No,
No,
but
doctors. No, you don't want to go to a doctor. What would they know? You know.
Right.
And Eric Trump has now come out as well that his family's been targeted with anthrax.
Yeah. Junior says they've attempted.
Hold on, I gotta grab my card.
Okay. So I forget the question. Are you okay?
Yeah.
That's a TikTok if I ever heard one. I forget the question that we were going to ask. Do you remember?
Not as such. Well, we move on to a new question, maybe.
I thought it was the anthrax question.
You want the anthrax question?
Well, we know that it's probably COVID.
Yeah, it's COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know if there's
that question. Will any of them acknowledge it?
Will any of them get tested? Will any of them get really, really sick? Do we want to ask these questions?
One of them will get sick. One of them will get really sick.
Mm.
And it'll be announced he has COVID. And then I see everybody acting like we don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
There we go. We got the reading.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So we have a few others. Michael Flynn,
Oh,
hero Michael Flynn.
Oh, God, what an idiot.
Yeah. Isn't he the one? He's the one now put a restraining order
yeah.
against Nancy Pelosi so that he wouldn't have to get anywhere near the January 6th commission, which it was shot down as fast as it was put up.
Look, they're getting sillier and sillier.
This news, what I heard today on MSNBC is the army, or he's general in the army, they're thinking about going back on him because he keeps using general and he's doing all these illegal things, and they may go after him for conduct unbecoming.
Good. And is that the case? They have to call him back to active service and then court-martial him. I think that's the case. And I think that's a juicier question. Let's see
if he'll be court-martialed.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. Oh.
Once all the stuff comes out about him and it's announced, oh, by the way, shall we be eating our popcorn watching TV?
Popcorn's going to be the new toilet paper.
Of prime time, she said. She wants it on prime time. When they give us all the keys to the puzzle. Oh, hell yeah. Hell to the yeah.
I know. The only problem is prime time for you is 3 a.m. for me.
Coffee it is, my dear. Coffee it is.
Oh, you can tape it. You could tape it.
Yeah, I will. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're back to Flynn.
Will he be court-martialed by the army? Is this true, the rumor that...
This is good. This is good. Will he be court-martialed? And his brother's now as mad as he is. Will he be court-martialed?
Whoever lays down first, go for it.
Okay.
Do you want to go, Linda?
Not yet. Somebody else.
Okay, I'll go in the middle. Here, this is interesting. So he's become a burden, not recently, for the services, right? They've been holding their cards close to their chest, but here's the problem. He's the out of control, vengeful knight, the Knight of Swords.
Right.
They would have let him get away with it, but it keeps going, right? Now they're evaluating their options.
Okay.
And the Hierophant. So I'm going to say yes.
Okay, so yeah. It doesn't say out and out they're going to do something.
No, and there's obviously...
If they do, it'll take a while. If they do, it'll take... Ooh, we do have the Tower. So this is a new case, a new beginnings, a man. This is like the military sitting there. It's at least a year away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Judgment in 5 of Pentacles.
Oh, goody.
Judgment in 5 of Pentacles going to maybe affect his retirement, maybe affect his pension, whatever it's called when after you retire. It's retiring from the military, all of his benefits, his benefits.
Yep.
So I think the judgment on his benefits may have a lot to do with it. I also have the Chariot. Once they do, and the Star, once they do this, the country can start healing again. And this is, I think, is what their angle is we have to hold this man accountable in order for this country to heal. We cannot allow a military man to be acting like a buffoon out there and him not be held accountable, because I get the grief. He's going to feel the grief and the regret of his actions.
He really.
And we must remember, he took 4 years leading those lock her up chants when he didn't have to. He didn't have to, you know.
I agree. So, but I don't have a timeline on it either. It may be just, you know, everything happens. Like 2021 has been literally the year of discovery.
Yeah.
Getting the information, finding it out, deep diving, and, you know, all of that. And 2022 is the healing, everything being held accountable, everything being put right. So that's kind of how I've been feeling about it. All right. So what we have next? Did you go? Did everybody go? Yeah. We have what's the fallout of Ghislaine Maxwell? So Ghislaine Maxwell, we all know that she's going to probably be convicted. Okay, they knew that from the moment they were selected as jurors. They were going to take her down. However, at first they, you know, like on TikTok, they would say, "Hey, Trump flew on the plane," and the Trumpers would come back, but he only did it once. Well, then they released all the information. It looked like he was a frequent flyer on this. You know what I mean? I mean, you still have the others that that were there too, but so we want to know, with all of the information coming out and the downfall of her, what is going to be the fallout for a lot of those people that were on that manifesto.
Okay.
I mean, of course, it's not illegal to be on a plane, even the low level.
Can I say something? A prediction I said, everybody was asking me about Bill Gates. I do not pick up Gates being pervy. I mean, he's not into children.
No,
right. That's what I picked up. I had the honor of reading a woman who actually works for Bill Gates. And I went ahead and asked her.
Yeah.
So I told her I had been asked this question by, you know, she doesn't work for him anymore. Pray tell, you know, scoop, gossip, 411. Do you think he's pervy? Absolutely not. What's his name? Maxwell's Epstein. Is a rich man whore. He loves just to have the names. He likes to show off what he has. Rich men. If he can lure them into children, all the better. But not everybody went there.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I've never gotten a disgusting feel around Gates or whatever his name is.
Bill Clinton either.
Yeah, no. I haven't felt that around Bill Clinton either. I mean, he was a cheater.
I think is a flirt. He's capable of having a few affairs, but he's not dark and.
I didn't think so either. You know, and you're right. Rich people hung around rich people.
Yeah.
And that's
Trump, on the other hand,
table. She knew everybody. We're talking the real A-list, not, you know, Hollywood fly-by-nights.
No,
she knew the royals. She knew.
They like to have a black book. They like to have everybody's name and number, whether they were involved in something untoward or not. They just wanted to. So what's
the question?
The question is, what is the fallout of all of those names who are on that? If they're going to start going after them as well, like do they have enough to go after a certain of those? Now, we also know that if like 3 or 4 CEOs from big huge companies were resigning. I can't name them all off right now, but like there was like 3 of them that were all of a sudden in succession after Ghislaine Maxwell's trial started. They started resigning because they knew that their name was on there. Probably then
obviously they're guilty of something.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if they're going to continue on with this issue with other people.
Okay, I can go if you want.
Yeah.
I speak with the world. These are guys from all over the world. Yes. The question is, was it with minors? Not this young as on this card, but yeah. I get the hangman, which in this case, because I have my own little thing about the hangman can also be a willing sacrifice, right? You know, not just new thing. And I think Ghislaine is the sacrifice. Because as we know, we haven't seen a penis in relation to this case. Not over the, right? I think she is the one that's worried at night. She is the one who will get the sentence.
Yep.
And I'm feeling a bit iffy about her. I think she'll only be done on the 14-year-old or something. I don't think it'll be 30 years or anything like that, but I think it'll still be a sentence. She's the one who will go to jail. I'm not saying for a long time, but sometime.
Yeah.
And I don't see any men in this story. So.
Yep. Yeah. And, you know, she was real pompous, like that General Flynn. The judge said, are you going to testify? Your Honor, there hasn't been enough evidence presented in this case. Like, you know it all, Biosh.
Yeah, she's thoroughly convinced they can't convict her.
And also it's very fuzzy because you've got these girls who of their own accord did go back and stuff. So it's a very hard case. We know the subtleties of it, how people get groomed and sucked in, but it's not like they were snatched and thrown in the back of a car. And so it's very hard to make a hard trafficking charge. I think she'll get something, but not a lot.
Not a lot, yeah.
Did you go, Linda?
Well, sort of. I got the same exact card she did, including the 8. A lot of 8 in here. What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
But do you think she'll actually squeal?
Well,
I don't.
Okay, here's the thing. To answer your question with a question, she hasn't bent yet. And let's face it, it would be hardcore being in jail like she is now for who she is and everything. So does she still get a second bite of the cherry? If she gets convicted, can she still, before she gets sentenced, can she make a plea deal then? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think no. Once you've been convicted, I don't think you can.
Yeah, the plea deal is prior to a trial.
You know those guys that were on trial for killing that young man who was jogging?
Yeah.
Yes.
The one guy that filmed it, when he realized how it was going, he said, I'll take that deal you offered me. And they said, too late.
I said no.
Too late. Yeah. You waited to see.
Will she squeal?
I don't know. I don't know if she'll squeal, but I do know that they have the mischievous, they have the spy. They have somebody that knows more than kind of like she does. They have been talking, they've gone on that. It's almost like she's the 10 of Wands, you know, the burden, the responsibility. She is going to be burdened with that responsibility because she's evil, right?
Right.
And then the truth has come out. But the weird part about it is they're going to go forward with somebody who is tattling. There's somebody else that they're connecting with that is telling them more stories than Delaine.
Here's my thought when you said that. The hired help. Now, the wealthy, when they grow up with nannies and au pairs and drivers and pool, they don't see these people as people.
Right?
And yet it is the valets and the drivers and the things and the thing and the cooks and the chambermaids who see everything.
Yep. Hear, know, talk. Yeah. And then with that person that they're going to talk to and move forward with is where they're going to get the healing for these women that were groomed and taken advantage of. So that was kind of weird that spy in the camp came out, and I thought, why are you there? But it's like with Ghislaine, she's a prize, but she's not the one that's giving the information.
Interesting.
So, weird. All right. So how much time we got? We got good?
It's 5:27.
Okay. All right. So what we have next is this was a question I kind of wanted to know. In 2022, are Biden's polls going to skyrocket?
Or at least go up?
They have gone up. They went up after he went down to after he went down to the people for the tornado.
Okay. Well,
so they did go.
How much do you know?
It was, what was it at? It went up a few points.
He was at 41 or something. So
Is it 41 now?
no, he was 41 before that.
I think he's at 48 now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not
he went
bad
up.
because, as we know, they always go down in that second year.
Well, that's when the Republicans start screaming and yelling and crying, and they start doing little press things. And that's when you can see them misbehave the most, is when they see a poll go up, like, oh my God.
I just saw him being interviewed by, who's that guy on ABC News, David? All right, David.
Gingell?
He's a good looking guy. He's the one that talks on, he has ABC World News.
I don't know his name.
David something, anyway.
Mhm.
Anyway, he interviewed Biden and
Mhm.
he asked Biden, are you going to run? You told me you were in for the 8 years. And Biden said, he does still have that little stuttering thing. But he said, right now, based on how I feel really good. As long as I feel like this, heck yeah, I'll go another 4 years. And they said, well, what happens if Trump's running? He said, don't tempt me. Why would you do that?
It would be a shoo-in then, Biden. Okay, so he went from 38 to 42.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
42. I thought I saw an 8. Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably 38 because he went from 38% to 42. So he's gained quite a bit, actually.
And he's
Yeah.
going to gain more
Yeah.
because
So
the cost of living will go down.
yeah.
Unemployment is the less it's been ever.
Yep.
Gas prices are going down.
Yep.
And so it's slowly but surely happening.
And the more compassion he shows people, it'll start looking a lot better too. So let's see his polls in 2022. See what the cards say about it.
Yeah.
2022.
Biden 2022.
Did you guys hear that South Africa is saying that this new virus is already decreasing? The amounts are decreasing.
Oh, good.
So
good.
when people asked me about it, it was like I saw wildfire go through the United States.
Mm.
And boom, it was gone.
Mhm.
So fortunately, especially if you've been vaxxed, it's not. In fact, just some doctors just today on ABC News said, well, you got a lot of people have it, but not very many hospitalizations.
Mm.
Right. If you're vaccinated, it's going to act like a little lesser of a thing. However, the first death in Texas was a person who already had COVID and contracted and did not get vaxxed, and then has the Omicron and died. So this is the deal that they're playing with now. If you had it, they think that the immunity is catching them. Well, this Omicron doesn't care about your immunity, your natural immunity.
No.
And the guy died after having COVID, not getting vaccinated, and then contracting this in Texas. So,
okay, what is our question now?
the question is: will Biden's polls go up in 2022?
2022.
To a sustainable amount?
Oh God, you know they hate it when he goes up.
Yep.
They hate it.
Well, the backstabbing. I'll go ahead and go first. I have the World and the Ten of Wands that keep on going. So the world is recognizing and keep on going, because his polls are gonna rise, and then everybody's gonna go, okay, good, keep on going. However, the backstabbing will commence. Once it starts going up, it will commence, and they will start just losing it. However, he's that steady knight and he's going to continue on. And then the King of Wands, he's a born leader. He will prove himself over and over and over again that he's a born leader. So I think that it's going to go up, but we're gonna hear from the Republicans. They're gonna start screaming like a banshee.
Well, I think I kind of see right now the reason why our eyes are turned, because I kept thinking the United States might come together a little bit instead of that congressman talking about ways to kill Dr. Fauci, which is just awful. I think Russia's going to cause some trouble. I see us dealing with something overseas, It's almost immediate. And I see the way Biden handles it. Everybody goes, good job, good job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like we come together because there's going to be some ugly coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
And Putin threatens those Republicans that he had in his hands when they came over to Russia to sit there, Ron Johnson and all of them.
Yeah.
Got stuff on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's me. Go ahead, Lena.
Well, just quickly, you were saying about his leadership. Yeah, will come through. This is the adversity, which is what you were suggesting, Linda, that, there's going to be something quite serious coming.
Something big, military action.
Yeah, military. But what will carry Biden forward is women. Here are the queens, And I drew a little oracle card one there for Biden 2022 and got the butterfly of hope. He represents hope.
You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope.
Gotta have hope.
Oh, that was beautiful. That he's gonna come even better. Like he's expanding his wings in 2022. Like it's like it's gonna be a beautiful thing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think enough people are recognizing this is a Manchin problem, not a Biden problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, even the coal miners are telling Manchin, we want you to vote for that.
Yeah, the coal miners union came out.
Yeah, they're saying this bill gives us an opportunity to train to other things so we can have jobs.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on Manchin, let's go ahead and look and see how his constituents they're perceiving him right now. Did
you see that smirk on McConnell's face? Manchin should just be a Republican. I told him I'd be in charge of all the committees and all that. And he could care less about Manchin. It's all about power for him.
Totally. And he may as well be. It wouldn't matter. Why don't the Dems say, you know what, you're in the wrong place?
Because that one number will set them off, and then then Mitch McConnell is speaker.
Yeah, we can't have the power to shift. That would be awful.
What do West Virginians think about Manchin?
I just hope that in 2022 we make him irrelevant.
Most of the people in West Virginia don't have any teeth. Did you see that?
Yes.
A portion of them.
It's sad.
But no,
and so many other health issues. What that says is so much about their overall health.
It's almost immoral and illegal for a man to be driving a Maserati and have a boat, and his daughter's making fat off the money of pharmaceuticals.
And people have no teeth.
It's a sin. It feels like it's Satan.
See, that's interesting because I want to see us globally having a moral shift on all this stuff about greed, where it actually, if you're really wealthy, you should be embarrassed unless you can say, I am supporting this literacy program in the Bronx. I'm supporting this and I'm supporting that. I want to see that quantum shift in attitude instead of that worship. Because they spend more on a handbag than some people have to live on for a month.
Yep.
Oh, and then he got money from Wells Fargo, Verizon, and all kinds of people were giving him money yesterday.
All of it. So West Virginia, what are you going to do about your guy? And in a way, perhaps this is the universe saying to people, look at what you're actually living. Don't listen about what they're saying. What is your experience of voting Republican for 40 years done for you?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you got?
Well, the cards are leaping. I'm really happy. You know what? They're getting it. They're seriously thinking, we've always done this. They now are starting to get they're being manipulated. Duh. They are thinking about changing their votes. This is moving on. They're really thinking about this for the first time because the truth is penetrating. It's going through the crown. It's sort of obvious stuff, but not, because it's a thing about Americans generally. You know, you could be watching your family die of preventable illnesses and opioid overdoses and struggling to make ends meet and having no work for 3 generations, or working for 3 jobs and having no money. But I'm in the greatest country on earth. You know, the mythology is so strong, and it's that myth that has to be challenged.
And you know what gets me is that he doesn't want the childcare thing because he's afraid they'll use drugs.
Okay, yeah, I got the backstory on that, and that's a classic, right? Someone came to his office, well, maybe, or maybe they didn't, but symbolically, and my daughter-in-law is a crack addict, and she spent all that money on crack, right? So therefore, you give nobody nothing, because there's always going to be a tiny percentage who does abuse welfare payments or something. But instead of looking at them as the real numbers, everyone else is doing the right thing by their kids. It's always used as an argument by conservatives.
Always.
Always.
And
Always.
in Australia, we had the same thing. They introduced a baby bonus, $5,000 cash if you had a baby. Well, of course, they found 2 couples at the who bought a plasma TV with the 5,000, and all the conservatives were saying, "Oh, they're plasma babies," and you know, it's the same mentality.
How do you keep the kids entertained if you don't turn on the TV?
That's right. What hope have you got?
That was my babysitter. I don't know about you all. Minute them 2 kids could sit up straight in that couch, they were.
That's right. You know, that's right. And you could strap them in if they were younger.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
I've got that. He's got justice coming in the 9 of Swords. So I've felt this before, and I'll give you guys what I heard before. Something else is coming up on Mansion.
Good.
Something that he's going to be in trouble, legal trouble for. So there's going to be some sort of chaos about him. He will not win again. He might even have to step down. Something underhanded is coming up, and he's going to be in trouble. And people are looking at him like, you know, where's your morals?
Yeah.
And he's got the Ace of Swords reversed.
Ooh.
So
That makes a lot of sense. I got the Hangman at the end as well.
yeah.
I kind of equated that to losing his thing. I have the Moon. They were all losing his re-election.
Oh, I thought you meant his gonads.
Yeah, in 2024. So here's the Moon. They were all under the moon. They're all under, you know, under the impression everything's going well. Everything is this and that and the other. Now he has difficulty because they see the truth. He has difficulties. He's starting to really encounter their difficulties, and they're getting apathy with him. That's the one thing that in this card it talked about. They're getting apathy with him. They're like, we're really over you. And they finally are starting to realize his old money. And we also have the 4 of Cups, which is that you sure are happy to have your own money. You sure are happy to stop something that doesn't help us. I mean, you keep on thinking you're in victory, but they talk about this, the wands, like, we're unhappy with this. We are going to do something. We're going to do something. And then I got the Hangman. So it kind of gave me a thing where,
like a trajectory.
Yeah, but this 3 of Wands can also talk about the teamwork that they're going to take him down with, like teamwork, all the voters, teamwork on that whole situation as well. So
some gossip is coming out about him. Something's coming out. Could even be fake news, but something's coming up.
Oh, good.
well, he's definitely under scrutiny, and whatever he thought was under a rock is being exposed.
Ooh.
Rock overturned. There's a spider underneath there. Okay, let's see. What else do we got?
I can do one more question.
One more question. Okay, we'll do Scott Perry, and then I want you to, before we stop, everybody to give a message from Spirit for the next year.
All right, shall we just go to that? So
Yeah,
then
we can definitely do that, and I can save these
and
for
then we
another
can
time.
do Rick Perry or something.
Yeah.
You'll have to edit this out. I just wanted to show you this picture, Linda, because of you being a nurse. This is a friend of mine. She's Maori, right? And she's running an ICU unit. And she sent this to us all. I hope you can see it. And the caption says, "This is how you feel when you find out your patients are voluntarily unvaccinated."
Right.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Like a
Yeah.
space cadet. I was like, ooh, these people are from aliens. Space suits.
Can you imagine working in that PPE gear all the time? Masks are bad enough, you know.
Poor people, they are wiped out.
They're exhausted everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I can't imagine it being. I watched somebody get ready, and it's like a mask. He actually put tape underneath here.
Yeah.
Tape on
Yeah.
his so that it wouldn't rub his face.
Yeah.
Mask.
And then the whole thing.
Another mask. Eyes. I mean, it was unbelievable what he had to put on.
Just hell.
So,
And then they're doing 12-hour shifts. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, let's do message from spirit before
Here's my message from Spirit.
What is it? I can't see. The light's on it.
Can you see
is
it?
it Kitty?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's pretty. It says,
that is so cute.
"Let me set this up before I F these two behind me." That's my thing for 2022.
You have to text that to me and I'll put it up on the screen when I edit it.
Okay. Really, it's almost like that's what I'm feeling. I don't feel doom and gloom. I feel justice. And it's like, hold on, let me get this camera straight before I mess these two idiots behind me.
Yeah, text that to me and I'll put that up on the screen so everybody can see it before you go. So thank you. I know, Linda, you having a busy schedule, and I'm so happy.
Crazy. I even thought maybe I had COVID.
Oh,
I had just the nose was running and I was sneezing and coughing, but no sore throat and no headache. And I had a test here and it didn't say positive. So
do you think you can trust those tests?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering if you guys had the same feeling. I'm like, are they trustable?
Yeah. But you must be exhausted. You work hard.
I think so. Yeah. Well, I'm going to stop doing personal readings after next year.
Yeah.
But I think I also did the pregnancy test in.
Did you get a blue line?
I got the blue line. Do you remember those days being so afraid? Oh, please, dear God.
Yep. I've had a few of those. Like, no.
Like my sister who's 78, and she was saying, well, look, the good news is I won't be having more kids. I'm just letting you know.
You know who I loved was Joan Rivers. She talked about
isn't she hilarious?
And she said anytime she went out, especially with these rich men, right? She'd be digging in her purse and she'd always pull out a tampon.
Oh, right. To pretend she was still young.
So they would think that she's still on the rag.
How funny.
Okay, guys, so listen, we're going to go see Matrix. I'm sure it's going to be good.
Oh, that's great.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know how it goes.
I'll let you know. I'm going to be masked up, honey.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
No breathing.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Love you all.
All right. Bye, honey.
Great to see you.
Bye. All right. That was a delight.
Yeah.
Mike Fanone, and he is actually quitting being a police officer at the Capitol building, or even in Washington, D.C., I think. And then he is going to go do some sort of job at CNN. What is it called?
I think he's a guest commentator.
Guest commentator. So let's see if his success and his endeavors.
Now, just to remind viewers, he was the officer who was tasered in the neck, and someone pulled his own gun and said, kill him with his own gun. Okay, so he had a very specific, violent, traumatizing encounter in Jan 6.
Absolutely.
And so let's look at Mick Fanone, is it?
Yeah,
Fanone.
it's Mike Fanone, and
Mike
was the
Fanone.
one. He's the one that started yelling, "I have kids! I have kids!" And it
Yeah,
probably saved his life that day.
yeah. Mike Fanone. Mike Fanone. Anti-future, Mike Fanone. Oh, wow. Will I go, Sheila?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll go to the lesser cards first because the two main cards are really extraordinary. So I think he's got a good marriage here, which he needs. I think, you know, his wife is, I think, quite exceptional. Oh, bless, right. And I don't know if his father's still with us or if he isn't. If his father's passed over, he's giving him strength. And if he's still alive, he's so giving him strength. But through caring, this is normally my Biden card. This is an older man who really cares. And I think his father, like I said, either here or on the other side, is so looking after his son, and every moment of the day he's there for him emotionally. The two main cards, which gave me goosebumps really, my America card, the Star, and the Tower. And it's like, it could be Mike Fanone's personal tower that happened that day, of course, but I think it's bigger, it's symbolic. I think he has tremendous potential to cut through, to represent the best of America. And he might be able to explain to people who were shocked on the day but now think it wasn't any big thing. He can explain that to them, that this is what is the real threat to America. And the Tower moment he experienced, I think he will have cut through as someone people will see on television. But of course, he's going to CNN, and so only CNN people will see him. And I'm hoping he'll, as he builds his strength again and his confidence, he'll be seen in more places. And I think his potential is huge for healing the nation, which is our theme today that keeps burbling up through the cards. We can go this way or that way, and he can express that.
I agree. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're spot on about his wife, the love that he has for his family, and releasing the baggage. He needs to go. He can't stay a police officer right now. He's really not doing very well because of his tied up, his PTSD is encaged with it.
Yes.
So he's recognizing he's not only moving to CNN to help CNN, he's moving to help himself and save himself. That's right. In teamwork, and they really are embracing him and becoming like, yeah, come over here, we'll take care of you. We'll give you an outlet, you can talk about it, you can get all of that done. And then the Page of Cups is that romantic proposal where what they offer he wants, right? But also the romantic proposal of healing, because I also got the Ace of Wands, that new adventure, that creative spark. He really wants to be a spokesperson. He really wants to move beyond what is going on. And what he really, really wants is for whoever did this to have justice.
Mm-hmm.
He really kind of wants that thing. And if he could do that, he's going to, and his wishes will be fulfilled.
Yeah.
So he wants that.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm good. Yep.
Yeah. He's not driven by ego in this. He's not thinking, oh, well, I can get a cushy deal and I can do it. No, he's coming from this really deep space
of healing the country,
to be an American. and he's laid his life on the line and nearly lost it.
Yep.
Not for the first time, but it was so bad that he represent, you know, how the Republicans are now brushing aside respect for the military and serving officers and all of this. I think he's one of the unique ones who can bring that back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's get real. What they did was not what we're supposed to be doing. Let's get the right perspective about this. I agree. I think he's going to be excellent. He's going to do really well there. So
yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to your message from Spirit.
Message, gorgeous viewers. This is for you. Message from Spirit. Message from Spirit. What do we all need to hear? What do we all need to hear? What do we all need to hear?
What'd you get?
The sun.
The sun. Yes.
And so that is very timely. The last card I was expecting in all sorts of ways. But the clarity and the beauty and the joy and the exuberance of life must not be forgotten. This is a message from Spirit saying in these dark times, these troubled times, during the stress and the gaslighting, remember, let the sun shine symbolically on you and from you is what I'm hearing. On you and from you. That's not a Lenaism. So I'll leave you with that. Oh,
very nice.
Courage. Courage is also there. So it's really important for people to become reinforced and have the courage to keep going in this time. Yeah.
Oh, I completely agree. I have dream your intentions. Dream your intentions into reality, and live in truth and integrity. When we live in truth and integrity, then we are definitely going to reap the efforts of our life. We're going to appreciate the beautiful rose. We're going to appreciate the beautiful scenery. We're going to appreciate the loving spouse or anything along that lines when we're living in truth and integrity. So when we do that, we are absolutely enjoying life as we go forward, especially in 2022.
Oh, that is sensational.
So
beautiful.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So be the change you want to see.
100%. 100%. All right. Well, Lena, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll do this again in January.
We so will on the other side.
On the other side of 2022, we're going to have a lot. I know by the time into January, it's going to be bonkers. We're going to like, what?
And crazy. And I want to say goodbye to everyone who tunes into this video. Thank you for watching.
Yes. Thank you. If everybody's made it this far, thank you.
That's right.
All right. Let me